Hey, what's going on, everybody? If you're new here, welcome in, and if you've been here before, welcome back. I'm Rollshambo, connoisseur and collector of all things sharp and shiny. Today, we're talking shop on this Hoback Sumo. Now, if you have been here before, you might be having a case of deja vu because one of the first videos I ever released on this channel was about this very same knife. However, I've since changed my style, and that specific video wasn't just a review. I did talk about the knife, but focused on the controversy surrounding where it was made. Now, a lot of people didn't understand that this was actually not made in the USA like they had assumed. It's made in China. Now, spoiler alert, doesn't change the quality of the knife. Plenty of great knives are made in China. I mentioned it in a comment response in a different video, but where a knife is made has no bearing on its quality. And today, I aim to tell you why. So we're going to hop into an overhead view so that you can get up close and personal with the Hoback Sumo that is indeed made in China. Let's take a look. And we're back. So, I can't talk about how cool this knife is without going over the unboxing experience. This is wood. And if you were to smell this, I can tell you that this smells like wood that's been in a shop. It brings to the whole experience. I love the fact that the brand name, or that the designer actually had his name, branded into the wood. That's a cool touch. And it's just really neat to see something different, I like this. Part of buying a new knife, especially when it's as expensive as one of these, is that you get to enjoy a whole experience. Part of that is unboxing it. So this box is basically, you just slide this back and this is what you're greeted by. I haven't changed anything in this box since the day that I got it. Okay. Now I have an NC Blade sticker. That's where I bought this from. That over there. He includes tools to be able to take the knife apart, which I'm a really big fan of, because maybe the person that bought this is not, someone that tinkers with knives all day long. Maybe they're average Joe and they just don't have a way to maintain their knife. This will allow you, if you don't have a set already, this will allow you to take the knife apart and maintain it. I think that's great. Then you get this. So this is kind of his, calling card for this knife. It says, Hoback knife, Sumo, Psalm 23. Has all the stats right here. The overall length, 7.325. Closed, it's 4 inches. Blade of 3 1/4. The steel used on the blade is 20 CV. The thickness comes in at 156 thousandths. It's got a silver bead blast stone wash finish, which I will go over that here soon because that bead blast finish is just amazing. Titanium handle scales and purple anodized accents, weighing in at about 4.5 ounces. Okay. So after you get all that out, this is what you're greeted with in the box. So if you buy one of these, this is what it will look like. It does come with a Sumo patch, which I could really care less about, to be honest with you. It's a patch that has rubberized and whatever. I'm not a patches guy, I'm a knife guy. So whatever. I'd have to find it to show it. I just didn't feel like it. But you open up the box and this is what you're greeted with. Nice foam packaging. And then you pull it out. And we want to talk about this for a second. No, we don't. Okay. If you're looking at this edge bevel, please understand that I have sharpened this. I wanted to have a more acute angle on the blade for my purposes. So this is not the edge that you're going to get from factory. The edge from factory is totally fine. I'm just not one for more obtuse angles. If you're interested, this one is sharpened to about 23 degrees per side. Let's check out these accents. If you've watched Metal Complex's video on this, he has, his thumbnail just this shot right here with that backspacer being milled out. And the reason why that's so cool is just because of how this flipper tab fits in between there. Watch how that actuates. That's just cool. I don't care who you are, that's just cool. The centering on the blade, I've never taken this apart by the way, but the centering on the blade is perfect. At least it was on mine. It has a nice milled out puller, so you can finger flick it. The button lock works really well. It's very smooth action. The pivot is riding on aged bearings. The pocket clip is 3D milled. And I know that some people have complained about how it fits in the hand, that this pocket clip makes it sore, but honestly, I don't see how, because if you put your thumb over the top, like it's not uncomfortable to me, at least. You know, your mileage may vary. I don't know what size your hands are, but you know what they say about your hands determines how the pocket clip's gonna feel. What do you think I was gonna say? The detail work on the handle scales is really nice. I love how they have this divot coming down in here, because even though it's not a frame lock, that actually does help making the grip more comfortable. Your thumb naturally goes over the top for more control over the blade. The blade shape itself is a sheep's cliff worn foot. It's whatever, okay? It's a wide blade shape. And if you were to compare it against something, the best thing to compare it against would actually be a Spyderco blade shape, because they both have larger carry profiles. If you've carried a Spyderco Para 3, similar carry profile, similar overall size to the Hoback Sumo. Very carry friendly without feeling like you're carrying a tiny knife in your pocket. If you want to compare it against something else, here it is up against the Chavez Redemption Street. It's very similar in length, overall length, a bit wider on the carry profile. If you really want to make it look big, you can go ahead and compare it against this Pena Apache. There we go. There's a knife that it makes it look big. Awesome knife, by the way, this Pena Apache. Big fan of this. Let's talk about the design language. The thumb studs, once deployed, flow evenly and smoothly into the handle scales. It matches the backspacer, and the pocket clip matches both of those accents as well. You could tell that this was purpose built to fit well in the hand and to be a user. I like the fact that it doesn't have alternating pivot screws. It has one pivot screw and a pivot cap. That's nice, because it means that if I ever have to Loctite this, I only have to Loctite one. I have no issues with the lockup, by the way. The lockup on this is solid. There is zero blade play whatsoever. There's so many different ways you can deploy it. You can deploy it with this flipper tab. You can deploy it with the button lock. You can deploy it with the fuller. You can wave it out of your pocket. This thumb stud sticks out enough where if you pull it out of your pocket, it can catch and it will deploy the blade for you, which is pretty darn sweet. So essentially, that makes this knife extremely fidgetable. It feels premium, it feels good, everything flows nicely, and everything works well. I don't have any complaints about the fit and finish on this knife. I know that some of the earlier models, people were having issues with the barrel between the plunge lock and the scales. I've been checking that ever since I've got it. It's been over 4 months, and I haven't had any of the issues that some of the early adopters had faced. But that's kind of how it goes. If you adopt something early, essentially you're testing it for the manufacturer, whether you like that or not. That bead blast finish is just something that I'm a huge fan of. All right, so what are my final thoughts? Well, my final thoughts are that the Hoback Sumo is an incredibly well-made knife. Really enjoy the design language. I love the fact that it's different. In the knife community, if you want to call it that, there are so many things that are just the same, whether it's same blade shape, same locking mechanism, same everything. This is a knife that doesn't try to be the same. This is a knife that tries to be different. It's, in my opinion, extremely carry friendly. It's a great conversation piece. And also, if it's made well, who cares where it's made? I'll let everyone else have their opinions and share them in the comments section down below if they have strong opinions on the Hoback situation with where this knife was made, whether he lied or not. As for me, I really enjoy it. I think that it's well worth the money. I think that at the end of the day, if it's built well and you are happy with it, you should just be happy with it. I also think that people are going to unfairly categorize this knife as a gas station knife because it's different. By the way, if you've ever posted a picture of a knife that you thought was really cool on social media and they told you, hey, that looks like a gas station knife, hit that subscribe button. Me too. Guys, that's all I got for you today. If I went out and lost this knife tomorrow, would I buy another one? Yes. Yes, I would.